In this tutorial, let's create this pizza ordering widget just using a single useState hook variable. Head over to tuckjunction.com for a complete tutorial on React. It is beginner friendly and comes with a lot of examples. Alright, to start the things off, let's create a component. Now this component has to be a functional component. As you know, the useState supports only in functional components. You can use any code editor for this tutorial. I will be using Visual Studio Code. The name for the component will be pizza order.js and I will be creating it under the source folder. Say pizza order.js. To convert this empty JavaScript file to a component, first of all, we need to define a function, then mark it as exportable. To keep things more relaxed and simple, let's use the same name pizza order for a function also. So the name of the function will be pizza order. Let's create the function const pizza order equals a function, just like that. Now the other components in my project needs to identify this as a valid component. To set that, we can use the export statement. Let's add that also. Export, and as our default import, let's set the function that we created. Default pizza order. As you may already know, we use JSX in our React components. Now the JSX will be compiled down to simple HTML during the compilation process. To add a simple JSX to our component, let's add a return statement, return, and a set of parentheses, and inside that I will create a simple h3 tag. Let's say your pizza. Save that. Next we need to mount our component in the app.js file. You can find your app.js in the src folder. As you can see, to my right hand side, the word tuckjunction.com is displayed. It is coming from this particular h1 tag. I will remove this. And next, you need to import your component. If you can remember, in my pizza order component, I have named the default export to be pizza order. Now we can use this name our app.js. This would be similar to creating an HTML tag. You can type pizza. Since I am using VS Code editor for this tutorial, you can see the imports are automatically created. This is one of the perks using VS Code editor. It's safe to view the changes on the right hand side. As our next step, let's create a useState hook variable that will hold the order data. For that, let's type const square brackets name of the variable is order, comma the setter method set order equals useState. Notice the import at the top and a set of parentheses. Save. To structure the form and to collect the values entered by the user at the same time, we can make use of a simple JavaScript object. I will create const default pizza equals crust, and this thing will have two sub properties which are label crust and value. Initially it will be please select, and we will feed this as the default value for our useState hook variable. Default pizza. And to my right hand side, you can see an error popping out saying that default value pizza cannot be accessed before initialization. This is happening because at the time of the creation of the useState hook variable, the default pizza value is not initialized. To fix this, we can initialize the default pizza variable before initializing the useState hook variable. Let's cut that and paste it here. So it is available at the time of the creation of the useState hook variable. Save that. Now the error is gone. Instead of typing each and every value, I will go to my website and copy the values from there. It is tuckjunction.com/react/useState. A link will be available for you in the description. I will copy these properties and paste them in our default pizza object. Let's go ahead and save that. Come back to our application window. Let's take a quick look at the pasted values. The first one is size, which is quite similar to the crust. And the next two are extra cheese and pineapple, which are expecting two boolean values. We will be converting this into two checkboxes later. And the last two are slices and instructions, which are also similar to the first two fields. As for our next step, let's create a form using these fields. Now, as you may know, React JSX can return only single parent element. So I will add a div, then let's put everything inside this div. So to start looping, a JSX expression object dot keys, we will pass in the order variable, and next map, which will provide us with a key and the function itself, and we will return a single paragraph element each time. Now this paragraph should have a unique key. We will make use of the key provided to us by the loop, key and key. Right. Inside this another JSX expression, we will get the current order property, is key dot name of the subproperty, which is label. Go ahead and save that. You can see the values are being populated. Let's provide a bit of a distinction to our label. Strong element, and a set of colon, and we will separate it using a br tag. And for the value attribute, first we will check whether it is a boolean type of order key dot value equals boolean. Then we will consider the value, and if it is true, let's say yes. If not, let's say no. Order dot key dot value, if it is true, yes. If it isn't, no. If the type of the value is not boolean, we can directly go ahead and print the value. So for that, order key dot value. Let's go ahead and save that also. Right, now the values are displaying. Now it's time to collect the instructions provided by the user. To achieve that, I will create a div tag and add a header h3 instructions, and in the next line we will add a select HTML form element, paragraph for the crust, break-in tag, and the select element. For the first option, I will add please select, and for the next option I will say pan, and for the next option I will say sausage. Save that. As for our next step, let's create a function that will collect the selected value and update the state object. In the select tag, let's use the onChange event. OnChange, an anonymous function which will provide us with the event, and for our function we will name this as update order, and this thing will collect e.target.value, which is the selected option. Let's also add the name of the field, which is crust, as our first parameter, crust, and comma, and at the top let's create that function const update order, and this will accept two parameters, which is the field and the value itself. Let's select the field from our order object. Let object field equals order, curly braces, and the field, and in the next line we will set the new value, object field dot value equals the passed in value, and let's make use the spread operator to update the order. Set order, and the spread operator which will give us the existing values, order, comma, and the new value, and the value is object field. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's test the function that we created right now. As you can see, it is not giving us the expected output. The value for the crust does update, but it introduces a new crust form field. I will add a console log to see the order object each time we update that. Console.log the order object and save that. We will check the console. So I will change the crust again, sausage. You can see that there is a new field introduced as field. This is because we are passing in dynamic fields and we need to tell that to our function. To set that, we can simply wrap our field using a set of square brackets. Now if I go ahead and save this, let's close that, refresh the page, and when I select pan, it does not introduce a new field, it updates properly. Similarly, let's create a new field to select the size. I will copy this, paste it here, and the label is size. On change update order field is size. For the first option, please select, and the next one is small, medium, finally large. We will go ahead and update the size. Medium, you can see the values are being changed. To handle our checkboxes, let's create a similar field. I will copy this one, paste it in here. The first one is extra cheese. Let's remove the select box and introduce a new input tag with the type checkbox. And in the onChange event, we will get the event parameter and pass it to our function. Update order. The first parameter is the field, which is extra cheese. And the difference here is, instead of typing e.target value, we will type e.target checked. e.target checked. This will indicate whether the checkbox is toggled or not. If it is toggled, true, otherwise false. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's toggle the checkbox. You can see the values are being updated. Similarly, we will copy this and pineapple. For the field, pineapple. Save that. The values are being updated. Let's quickly create a field for the slices also. We will copy this one, paste it in here, and slices. On change update order, the field is slices. Your target value is fine here. And for the first option, please select, and for the second option, 3 slices, 6 slices, and 8 slices. We will update the value. You can see the value for the slices are being updated. Lastly, for the instructions, let's set up a text area. I will copy this part and paste it in here and type instructions. A breaking tag is fine, and we will remove this one and introduce a text area. And in the onChange event, we will use our function. Update order, and the first parameter is instructions. As for the second parameter, dot target dot value. Save that, and we have a text area here. We will type something, hello. The value is being updated similar to previous ones. For the last part, let's introduce some styles to our component. To copy some styles, I will go to my website and copy the styles from there. I will provide you the link in the description and paste the styles right under the default pizza object initialization. In order to be compatible with the styles, I will introduce a new div tag here and put my entire Your Pizza section inside it. Another div tag right above it, and put both of Your Pizza and instructions sections inside it. Hit save, and let's apply the styles that we have pasted. In the first div, style attribute, example styles, save that. In the next div, style attribute, example styles dot container, save that, which will introduce the behavior of a flexbox. And in the next div, style example styles dot pizza box, and in the next div, style example styles dot order box, save that. And for our input fields, we will say style example styles dot input field, save that. I will copy this one, and for the checkbox, instead of input field I will type checkbox. Finally, and save that. You can see the styles are being applied. That marks the end of this tutorial, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn more about React, head over to touchjunction.com. Stay safe and let's meet on the next one.